Hey guys, John here, host of Mgtow is Freedom. Uh, what a day. I uh, I got a letter from a PayPal sponsor, and it really touched me. It affected me deeply. And the guy's name is Joe R. And he felt that he was all alone in this world. Right? It's the same feeling I had for a long time because I tried talking to men. This is way back before I did YouTube, way back before I even did my other channel. Way back before I really gave a fuck about YouTube at all. It wasn't until I had this particular job I'm at that I spent any significant amount of time learning and watching YouTube. I just thought it was for kids to fuck around on. But Joe wrote, and I'll quote, "Never forget that what you do matters." And he all capped matter, and of course exclamation point there. And that really kind of touched me. The things I do, I'm not just on here blabbing and shooting my lips off. A lot of you guys have sent fine compliments that have honored me. I feel honored to have the respect and gratitude of a lot of you guys. It's really important to me that this channel actually means something. You know, as I said in a video I just did, it's not about the money. That's not why I originally did this. It was to share my ideas. I did that because I felt I was right. I felt like my thinking was good, that I was accurate, right? Because I felt all alone over this shit. I was like, how can I be the only guy that thinks this way? I mean, other guys would make sexist jokes and fuck around and play games, but they never really backed it up. They were just kind of regular guys, and I always felt like I was alone. So I thought, if I do this channel, I can share my ideas. And I watched the other Mgtow channels like Sandman and Mgtow 101 and Grizzly and Red Pill and a bunch of those guys. And I thought, I guess I'm not alone. But let's really see. Let's really see if the way I explain it works. If I use my real face and my real voice, will I just get shouted down and told to shut the fuck up? Or will it matter, Oh, and by the way, this is a very fine Arturo Fuente Maduro wrapper, long-aged. And Benny Gold sent this to me. Benny Gold sent me this. A little inside joke there. So that's what I got in my hand and I'm fucking with. But back to how I felt, The response I got was overwhelming. There were a couple of negatives, Some people don't agree with my stance on unicorns, and it's completely acceptable. We all go our own way. But we're all pretty much going in the same direction. So it really touched me, though, to get the responses I've got. I've got some good people that have come to Patreon, and they send me messages. Crap, I got interrupted in my office. What was I thinking? Where was I at? I can't remember. I'm exhausted. But yeah, I thought I would get shouted down, and I got a lot of good comments. And then I've got a lot of good people that have come on Patreon, and they've kind of sponsored me a bit. Same with PayPal. It's been nice. You guys really, you came through. You came through as far as not only valuing the things I say, but going that next step further. A lot of guys say, I'd like to buy you a beer if you're ever out in my area, and they name it, stop by, we'll have a smoke and a sit down and bullshit, whatever. And since I gotta be at this job, it seems like 8 days a week, it's really cool that you guys take care of me like that. And whether I think of it like tips as a waiter or payment as a psychologist or as a motivational speaker, the money you guys have sent has been good. It's going to help pay some bills and take care of some stuff. It's really awesome. But on the personal side, It's your comments to me that have meant the most. You know, it's meant the most. This stuff is luxury. Scotch and stogies and good coffee, that's a nice little luxury. It's a beautiful gift from my brothers. But your compliments and your comments mean the most. You know, to believe that I could have a friend anywhere who thought like I do was really foreign to me, but now I know you fucking guys are everywhere. You know, and it don't matter what fucking color you are or how old you are. You know, it don't matter. There's fucking 20-year-old guys out there think just like I do. That's good to know. You know, I'm not just an old man who's all fucking tired of the bullshit. You know, and it's not just about us old guys. You know, everyone feels this monster that's trying to steal our lives from us. So, you know, it feels good to know that you guys are in the same boat with me and we're all rowing in the same general direction. You know, so thank you very much. A heartfelt thank you from me. And now on to the video. You know, it has to do with equality. Back in the 70s, you old guys will know this, the young guys may not. There was a tennis match. It was called the Battle of the Sexes. It was between an ancient male tennis player. His name was Bobby Riggs. And he was playing against the current Wimbledon champ, Billie Jean King, a woman and a feminist and a lesbian to boot. And who knows if she was taking male enhancement, you know, like testosterone or steroids. But it was highly televised, and it was at the time this concept of battle of the sexes. It was still kind of cutesy. It was still kind of a joke, and men were still pretty manly back then. But Bobby Riggs ended up losing. You know, I don't know how a 25-year-old woman who snacked on cats, you know, was a pussy eater, and was probably taking, you know, enhancement steroids. I don't think they tested for him back then. No idea how she beat a man who was nearly 60. Fuck, you know. Some days just bending over and tying my shoes, I'm out of breath, you know. Fuck, and I'm only 47. This guy was close to 60. But anyways, you know, what that did, though, is it really set off the next wave of this feminist thing. And part of this battle of sexes was the term equality. You know, there's the women's liberation movement, you know, the battle of the sexes, but they wanted equality. That's really what they were shooting for. They were trying to say we're just as good as a man. And so that has been something I have dealt with my whole life, is this idea that women are just as good as me. They're just as good. And I don't think so. But I did take one comment. It was from Dashuda, and he wrote, "Women claim they want equality, but demand we recognize their superiority." And he was completely right. You know, this thing came about where they wanted equal rights, and then they claimed that they were our equal. And this Billie Jean King match with Bobby Riggs showed that, you know, she could beat a man. But it's gone way past that now. It's not about equal rights. It's not about equal pay. You know, these women, they don't want that. They don't want equal pay. In a divorce, they want half and then some. They don't want the same rights we have. They want what we have and then some. And they want us to recognize, right, and then give in. You know, they don't make any bones about it. They'll say shit like, "I took him for all he was worth in court," right? That's not equality. That is taking a position of superiority. And they demand we recognize their superiority. The way they demand that isn't verbally. It's not in our face. You know, I guess some of them do it. But for the most part, I think what these women do is they sneakily do it. They prove it to us. And they do it through what I call manipulation. They trick us. Right? They demand that we have equal rights and that we're equals. But then you get the door. Then you, as the man, buy dinner. You, as the man, fix things that are broke and pay for things that require a professional. You see, they've got a superiority attitude in that the time that they spend in the relationship is more valuable than the time you spend in it, and that their effort is more valuable than yours. So therefore, you have to recognize them as always being our debtor, or rather, that we always owe them. And so the best way they choose to extract the difference between the two in the relationship is to make us pay financially. And they use the trick. The trick is our old chivalry. Men's desire to woo the woman and show that we're worthy of them and that we've earned them, when in fact we don't earn them. We don't ever own them again. We never ever do men earn and own women. But we're allowed to think that